hope everybody's well. What I wanted to do today was to talk about forgiving yourself as an act of self-care. The reasoning for the video is a couple of weeks ago, just lying there in bed, I was reminded of a certain Hawaiian healing modality, which I'm not even going to try and pronounce, but most of you will probably know. And it consists of 4 phrases, which is, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you. So I'm lying there in bed and it came to mind, and I thought to myself, I think I want to say that. And I started with the word I'm sorry, and then realized I couldn't go any further. So I've started repeating the word I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And after a while I started to feel that I was actually talking to myself, like I was addressing some part of me. And I was literally saying sorry for all the mistakes I'd made, all the decisions I'd made. And rather than try to control it or stopping it, I just allowed it to go where it wanted to, and there was a real resonance with it as I was just saying, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, and this must have lasted for about an hour or so. And in that time, it was like I was really meeting myself, and in that meeting myself, what I was doing was I was able to forgive myself for choices I'd made, for things I've done, for the amount of times I've messed up, and it was really liberating, so to speak. As I said, it was for about an hour or so, and after it came to a close naturally, what I found is there wasn't any need to actually repeat it all over again. A couple of days later, then I'm on social media, and the phrase came up that psychology says, it was a tweet, and it said psychology says that forgiving your old self is an act of self-care. And I thought, well, that's pretty incredible, because that's exactly how I felt. How I felt when I was literally saying sorry to myself. I felt it was an act of self-care, and I felt it was an act of self-love. And since then, all manner of things have started changing in my life. I'm noticing I'm taking care of myself. I'm noticing that there seems to be a lot more acceptance of things around me, and recently I recorded a video on acceptance, and I'm finding that forgiving myself, that saying sorry to myself, although there isn't an apparent to here, and there isn't an apparent to there, that just act of being able to speak to myself and actually hear myself speaking to myself and actually feel that I was being apologized to was absolutely liberating. And it's brought up so much because I've noticed I've gone calmer. I've noticed situations that were bothering me before don't seem to be bothering me. But what was really beautiful was that act of being able to forgive myself for all the mistakes I've made, for the so-called mess-ups, and that in itself is freeing. And what we find is that can then become the beginning of loving ourselves and really taking care of ourselves. Because one of the things I find, and I remember once doing a talk on self-care, is that a lot of people in the spiritual community, although they're really spiritual people and they're really aware of things, sometimes there isn't really that much care for themselves or love for themselves. And it's something I saw echoed in my work for years as well, that I spent a lot of time running after people. I spent a lot of time doing talks up and down the country and things like that, and it was really almost like chasing chasing people, situations, talks, interviews, and what have you. And in that, there was very little time left for me. So there was very little time left for any care or any love for myself. And I find that a lot of people in the spiritual community are very similar to that. They literally give so much of themselves that they leave very little for themselves. So they find themselves just burnt out. And again, that was something that happened to me over Christmas with the fall. And it's really made me think that really what I want to do is to have something for myself. And what I've noticed is this forgiving myself has brought in a newfound respect for myself, a newfound love for myself, and a newfound care for myself. And it's an interesting place to be. And it all started from forgiving myself. And some of what I forgave myself for, I knew, but as I went deeper, there were other things that kept coming up. And it was something that occurred naturally, but what I found is it's prompted me to really start taking care of myself. It's prompted me to really start loving myself. And what I've found there is I'm able to, in a sense, give more now, but not at the expense of myself, not at the expense of really just depleting myself of my energy, of my time, of my resources. And what I found is there is this peace now. There just seems to be, a lot of time for me as well, fun enough, as well as the work. And what I've found is in that going inwards and really caring for myself and really taking care of myself and really loving myself, that situations around me that would bother me don't seem to bother me as much. I'm seeing more of myself, and I'm seeing that I'm more trusting. There's more trusting in this not knowing, and it's led to work increasing. I'm increasingly doing more interviews and podcasts, and yet what I found is that act of forgiving myself has allowed me now to really put a balance into my day and have those moments where I just take care of myself, where I prioritize myself. So what we find is when we forgive ourselves, and when we forgive ourselves, and when we realize that we've made mistakes, but it's okay to make mistakes, and that maybe some of those mistakes weren't ours as well, that what we can do is we can go into this area of love and care and self-respect, and that's a really powerful place to be, because it allows us to put up boundaries, it allows us to develop as human beings, it allows us to really do more as well, and work so much more efficiently as well, and really live from this place of center, and live from this place of balance. And that's something that's pretty incredible. I wouldn't say that just because I forgave myself, that's it. No doubt, as I inquire deeper into my nature, as life brings up situations and what have you, that what will happen is that no doubt I'll see more about myself, and no doubt that will deepen this love, this respect, this care, and deepen this forgiveness as well. So if you find yourself giving yourself a bit of a hard time, then it's quite simple. Just forgive yourself. Just say sorry. Just stop. And really try to take care of yourself. And taking care of yourself can mean anything that you're doing just for you. Whether it's taking a hot bath, going for a walk, watching a movie you really want to, just anything that really allows you to connect with yourself, and really allows you to see why you're doing what you're doing, because I think sometimes what can happen in spirituality is we lose sight of ourselves because we're so busy trying to help others, and that creates a really unbalanced situation. So I think if we can allow ourselves to really forgive ourselves, to take care of ourselves, to love ourselves, and really to respect ourselves, we'll find that there's more balance, and in that balance we will see more and more of what we truly are, which is this natural way of being, which moves with this ebb and flow of life efficiently and from a place of love. So I think that's what I want to say about that, really. But thank you so much for watching till the end of the video. If you have liked the video, please do press like, subscribe to the channel, and also hit the bell icon. And it's something I'm reiterating in videos now. A lot of people are saying that they're not getting they're not getting the notifications. So if you hit the bell icon, you'll always receive notifications as well. And if you have any suggestions for future videos, please do drop me a message. Thank you again for watching to the end of the video, and have a wonderful day, whatever you're doing.